with productivity rating form that we can be able to identify at certain point, at certain instant, a crew member is productive, contributory, or non-productive by looking at in detail whether he or she participating in an active physical work, measuring, or weight job, etc. So you can be able to classify. To demonstrate that, I just show you a few example with the video record from the project that I did in the past few years, and see at certain time the crew members are productive, contributory, or non-productive. The first one, this project, I'm not sure with looking at this picture, you can guess where this project located. Think about it. So this project is on our campus. I record this from rooms Homes Hall 330. So Homes Hall, our engineering building at third floor. And when we built the construction method lab 2-3 years ago, and this is parking lot number 1, and this is the Early Eagle Family Center. If you see it here on this side is the student and community counseling center. So with that here, we let's see the video during this case. They placing the concrete for slab for the semi open construction method lab. And you see a concrete mixer truck, pump. So as you observe, let me stop down here. So at certain instant, if you look at with the productivity rating, if you look at, for example, this individual, this crew member, then they work at the empty handed out of the workstation, then we consider he at this point, at this snapshot, he not productive, so work empty. At this point, you see all 5 members here. If you look at this member, then is actually finishing the concrete surface. When they place concrete, that productive work, because that directly work on the products. And similar for all other people here. Let's continue to watch, but that at this instant, it don't need to be at certain instant. Now this internet, you can see this one prepare finishing the edge of the concrete, so consider productive. This one also work empty-handed, and then is non-productive. And now at this point, as you can see, so before a snapshot, this member is productive, but at this point, he waiting, then it non-productive. Makes sense? So it really depends on certain member at certain point, may be productive, maybe not productive. So it depends on the time you watch. So observe objectively and make a good interval of time that you observe certain members, so that you can rate the objectively the productivity rating for the crews that work on certain work. So for example, there for this one, you can see with include how many members: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 is 13 members. Is if people took the photograph, so it's not counted in crew members. So you can see for at this snapshot, if you see this member, then he's productive. If you see this member, then he may give an instruction, or if you see that instruction, or he just idle, then it's non-productive. This one handed the tool in the workstation, so this one is a contributory, but this one just waiting, this one just empty-handed, then it non-productive. These people on up here appear to do the work for the placing concrete. That is the job of this operation, so they are productive. So you can see there. So at certain snapshot that you can see there, stop here. You see this one, it keep the tool waiting, no work. This one giving instruction, contributory. This one do the work, then productive. This one just stay outside, don't do the work, non-productive. And you can observe, just like assume that when you go outside to do the semester project, you just observe that at certain snapshot, you just like I post here and I see how many people really do the work. For example, at this post, many people apparently not doing the work, just waiting or idle, so not productive. But then at this point, you see that the people really place concrete, some people idle, so very some people at certain point may do the work, so it's productive. Some just waiting, then non-productive. Some just give the tool, move the material around, contributory, or give instruction, receive instruction, contributory. So that understand of productivity rating. So when you do that rating and make sure that have at least 384 samples that I explained that in project later, and we can be able to determine, for example, this is one project that I do, and I can be able to determine whether certain project, how many percent, how many proportion are productive. In this example, if 30% are productive, 26% are contributory, and non-productive 44%. Okay, so that from the sample. So let me go into detail a few operation and to see continue to work, and then you can do that for your semester project in here. So let's go back to the form that available on Canvas, that you have it in there. So here, when you do observe, put the project in, observer your name, and of course you have a team member of 4, so do the same for each member. Should print out a few form that have it in here, and then the day observed, remark any temperature, anything, what activity you are looking at, and then at random time, like you start at 9, so 9, then you can do it every 15 seconds or any 20 seconds or 30 seconds, it's your choice. So that you can see within an hours, it's easy to get hundreds of observation. If you have 4 members, easy to get more than 384 observation that a sample size needed for your semester project. So with that one here, if you observe, you have 4 members in the team, and you observe crews have 4 or 5, so maybe one team member just focus on one group member and just observe at certain interval, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, or 30 seconds, and then you just take here, for example, at certain point I see that members do the physical work, so you put here and you put the time in there. Makes sense? So that's what we need to do. So I show you another video that project in our areas in Three Oak Parkway, on the other side of the I-75, if you walk through there. So this one, you can see how it go with the you have the people working the equipment, the measure tool, have it outside workstation, so consider non-productive, working empty-handed, no working outside workstation. This one got the empty-handed, non-productive. This team working on the floor, so yes, productive. It's moving outside workstation, non-productive. So you can see at certain point, you can observe and be able to determine. And as you can see here, when I observe this, I don't need to get the construction site. This one is one empty-handed, non-productive. One empty-handed working. So as you can see at certain snapshot at this video, many people are really non-productive. now is to work on the steel rebar for the wall. So consider now the one hanging, prepare, do the work, contribute, and travel outside workstation. But you can see that you can be able to read. I just talk here. You have easy to have multiple observation and to see that the productive, contributory, or non-productive. Non-productive. And for the project, you just find the place that you able to observe without interfere the worker, and then the same project that they go to, as you can see that previous video, it in the second floor, now the one in the third floor, which is empty-handed working, productive. In this case, they project about to therefore setting the concrete for placing concrete on the third floor, and you can see here working empty-handed, non-productive. People do the work on top here. See that new material, prepare for the formwork, then productive. At this point, non-productive. So you can see certain people, certain point productive, some other point are not productive. So just like when you observe outside, similar to what I videoed in there. And then the last one, sometimes you watch something that involve machine and people. In this case, the excavation, and you can see that in this case, you observe then the people that driver do the work, so it's productive. But some people in this case apparently just waiting for the job or idle. Then at this point, you can see that about only 20% are productive. 1, 3, 4 members. This member making the work. This 3 members just waiting to watch what the people, the excavator driver operator do, and that only one that really productive. So with that in mind, you can see, observe and record with the time, and you'll be able to come up with something that I did it in here. In the next video, I show you other method for data gathering, that is crew balance charts, and to develop the process map for certain operation, and that also required for you to do in the semester project.